Good morning, students. Once again, welcome back to our lecture series on polynomials. Today we are passing on to the last topic of the chapter polynomials, which is division algorithm. See, without wasting much time, let us go directly to division algorithm. See, actually division algorithm is not a new concept as far as you are considered. You have already studied division algorithm in the case of numbers. What you have to do is simply extend that division algorithm to the polynomials. That is all. See, some people say that this concept division algorithm is very hard to digest, but actually this concept is very simple. So listen carefully. So now what is the division algorithm in the case of numbers? So let us suppose we are dividing 7 by 2. Here the 7 is called what? Dividend. So 7 is called dividend and this 2 is called divisor. So see, we are dividing 7 by 2. Then this 7 is called a dividend and this 2 is called a divisor. So what is the quotient? See, 7 by 2, we know that 3 2s are 6. 3 2s are 6 and this is called the quotient. And what is the remainder? Remainder is 1. 1 is the remainder. See, suppose we are dividing 7 by 2, then we know that 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 1 is 7, so 1 is the remainder. So we know that what is dividend? Dividend will be equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. It is very simple. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So what is dividend here? Dividend is 7. 7 is equal to divisor into quotient. Divisor is 2. 2 into, what is the quotient? Is 2 into 3 plus the remainder is 1. That is 7 is equal to 2 into 3 plus 1. What is 2 into 3? 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is the division algorithm. See, the division algorithm simply says that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. See, we are dividing 7 by 2. The quotient is 3 because 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So the remainder is 1. So dividend 7 will be equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. This remainder can be 0. And also this remainder must be less than the divisor. So what is the remainder here? Remainder is 1. 1 is less than the divisor 2. So the remainder is less than the divisor. Or the remainder can be 0. See, suppose 6 by 3. So 6 is the divisor and 3 is the, 6 is the dividend and 3 is the divisor. What is the quotient? We know that 3 2s are 6. Quotient is equal to 2. And what is remainder here? Here the remainder is equal to 0. Here the remainder is 0. So we can say that dividend 6 is equal to divisor into quotient, that is 3 into 2 plus remainder, that is 0. That is 6 equal to 3 into 2 is 6. So the remainder, how about the remainder? The remainder can be 0 or here in this case the remainder must be less than the divisor. Now let us extend this concept to polynomials. Suppose we have polynomials p of x and we are dividing this polynomial by polynomial p of x by some other polynomial g of x. And suppose the quotient is q of x and r of x is the remainder. See, simply we are extending this result to polynomials. P of x and g of x are two polynomials. P of x, we are dividing p of x by q of x. Sorry, g of x. So the quotient is q of x and the remainder is r of x. Then what is the division algorithm? Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. That is, what is the dividend? Dividend is p of x, that is equal to divisor into quotient. Divisor g of x into quotient q of x plus r of x. That is the division algorithm. So division algorithm says that dividend p of x is equal to dividend p of x is equal to divisor g of x into quotient g of x plus remainder r of x. And here we said here the remainder is 0. So here the remainder can be 0. See, if the remainder is 0, then what does it mean? Here why we got the value, got the remainder as 0? Because 3 is a factor of 6. That is, here the divisor is a factor of the dividend. If the divisor is a factor of the dividend, then the remainder will be 0. So here we got the remainder as 0 because 3 is a factor of 6. So if the remainder is equal to 0, then we can say that g of x is a factor of p of x. If the remainder r of x is 0, then what does it mean? G of x, the polynomial g of x is a factor of the polynomial p of x. And also, here we have seen that the remainder must be less than the divisor. In the case of polynomials, we will say that degree of the remainder must be less than the degree of the divisor g of x. Here in the case of numbers, we will say that remainder must be less than the divisor. Here the degree of the remainder must be less than the degree of the divisor g of x. And how will you find out the degree of the quotient in the case of polynomials? In the case of polynomials, the degree of the quotient will be degree of p of x minus degree of g of x. Correct? The degree of the quotient q of x will be degree of the quotient q of x will be degree of the dividend p of x minus the degree of divisor g of x. So this concept is the division algorithm. So this division algorithm is not a new concept. Simply this is the extension of division algorithm in the case of numbers to polynomials. So what is division algorithm? Division algorithm in the case of numbers is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. In the case of polynomials also dividend p of x is equal to divisor g of x into quotient q of x plus remainder r of x. That means on dividing p of x by g of x, the quotient is q of x and the remainder is r of x. Then p of x will be g of x into q of x. P of x will be g of x into q of x plus r of x. Here the r of x can be 0. If r of x is equal to 0, then g of x is a factor of p of x. Here 3 is a factor of 6. Therefore the remainder is 0. So if the remainder is 0, then g of x is a factor of p of x. And also here the remainder must be less than the divisor. Here in the case of polynomial, the degree of remainder must be less than the degree of g of x. G of x is the remainder. And also how will you find out the degree of the quotient? Degree of quotient is equal to degree of quotient q of x is equal to degree of the dividend p of x minus the degree of the divisor g of x. Now let us consider a very simple example to verify the division algorithm. See, divide x cube minus 2x plus 3 by x plus 3 and verify the division algorithm. Now let us divide first. So, in order to divide, first of all, you will have to write these two polynomials in the standard form. X cube, third degree term. So, x square term is absent here. So, you will have to write 0x square. And here the x term is minus 2x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. So how to divide? You know how to divide two polynomials. So here the first term is x cube and here the first term is x. You simply divide x cube by x. X cube divided by x. So what is that? X square. You just divide the first term of this polynomial by the first term of what we can say divisor. See, x cube by x, that is x square. You will have to write x square here. Now next x square into 3 is 3x square. Now you will have to subtract these two. So in order to subtract, x cube minus x cube is 0. You need not write that. See, 0, this is 0x square, that is 0. 0 minus 3x square is minus 3x square. So you will have to subtract. See, so for subtract you will have to write the opposite of the sign. So here the plus x cube. Here we have plus x cube. So put a minus sign here. So here we have plus 3x square. So put a minus sign here. And then you will have to consider this sign. Which are these two signs are to be considered, which are assigned later. So x cube minus x cube is 0. 0x square minus 3x square, that is minus 3x square. Next term is minus 2x, you will have to write as it is. Again repeat the previous procedure. Here the first term is minus 3x square and here the first term is x. Just divide minus 3x square by x. So what is minus 3x square by x? Which is x square, cancelling x square and x, you will get minus 3x. So the second term of the quotient is minus 3x. So as in the earlier place, just multiply these two. Minus 3x into x plus 3. That is minus 3x into x, then minus 3x into plus 3. Minus 3x into x is minus 3x square. Minus 3x into plus 3 is minus 3x into plus 3 is minus 9x. Now you will have to multiply. Subtract. For subtracting, just put opposite signs here. So here we have a negative sign, so put a positive sign. Here also we have a negative sign, so put a positive sign. So you will have to consider this second sign. So that is 3x square minus 3x square plus 3x square, that is 0. You need not write 0. So here minus 2x plus 9x. Minus 2x, you will have to consider this second sign. Minus 2x plus 9x, that is 9x minus 2x, 7x. You will have to write the next term, which is plus 3. Again, just divide 7x by x. 7x is the first term here by x. So 7x by x is 7. So you will have to write plus 7 here. Then next multiply these two terms. 7 into x, 7 into 3. 7 into x is 7x plus 7 into 3, 21. Now you subtract. 7x minus 7x is 0. 3 minus 21. What is 3 minus 21? 3 minus 21 is minus 18. So here minus 18 is the remainder. Isn't it? So what is the division algorithm? Division algorithm is, so here what is this is the dividend and this is divisor and this is the quotient and this minus 18 is the remainder. So what is division algorithm? Division algorithm says that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now let us find out divisor into quotient plus remainder and check whether it is equal to the division. So divisor into quotient plus remainder. Divisor into quotient plus remainder. So what is divisor here? Divisor is x plus 3 into divisor into quotient. What is quotient? Quotient is x square minus 3x plus 7. X square minus 3x plus 7 plus what is the remainder? Remainder is minus 18. So divisor into quotient plus remainder, divisor into quotient plus remainder must be equal to the dividend. That is, on simplifying this you will get the dividend x cube minus 2x plus 3. 0x square you need not consider, that is 0. X cube minus 2x plus 3. Now let us simplify. See, first of all you will have to multiply each and every term of the second bracket by x. So x into x square, x cube, minus 3x into x, minus 3x square, 7 into x plus 7x. That is, you have multiplied each and every term of the second bracket by x. Next, multiply each and every term of the second bracket by 3 plus 3. That is 3 into x square plus 3x 3x square. Minus 3x into 3, that is minus 9x. 3 into 7, that is 21. Plus minus becomes minus 18. So now rearranging the terms, we have x cube, we are writing it as it is, minus 3x square plus 3x square cancels. Minus 3x square plus 3x square is 0, that is term involving x square vanishes. 7x minus 9x is minus 2x. 7x minus 9x, 7 minus 9 is minus 2, so 7x minus 9x is minus 2x. Next is 21 minus 18. Constant term is 21 minus 18. What is 21 minus 18? Plus 3. What is x cube minus 2x plus 3? X cube minus 2x plus 3. X cube minus 2x plus 3 is the dividend. So this is equal to dividend. Hence the verification. So divisor into quotient plus remainder is equal to the dividend. Now the division algorithm is verified. So what is the division algorithm? Division algorithm says that dividend p of x must be equal to divisor g of x into quotient q of x plus remainder. So if the remainder is 0, then g of x is a factor of p of x. And also the degree of r of x must be equal to degree of g of x. Now we have verified division algorithm of polynomials by an example. In our next video, we will discuss more problems based on division algorithm of polynomials. Till then, goodbye.